Hey, Michael C.Anthony here, author of the best-selling book, Body Language Secrets, How to Read Minds by Reading Bodies. Today we're going to have some fun. We're going to examine the handshakes of Donald J. Trump. What do they mean? Why does he do them? A little history on the handshake. Why do we do this anyway? What's with the ritual of grabbing somebody's hand? Starts hundreds of years ago in the military. Military men, when they would meet each other to prove they were unarmed, they would grab each other's wrists and feel up the wrists like this. And when they were happy, they knew that person wasn't armed. So therefore, they can be in peace with each other. That's where the handshake comes from. Now let's examine the handshakes of Donald J. Trump. So let's start with then President-elect Donald Trump and the first handshake with then President Barack Obama after their initial meeting with each other. Here comes the shake, and oh, no eye contact from Donald Trump. I don't think they like each other. The Prime Minister of Japan came to the US to meet with Donald Trump, and they had what's known as the 19-second long handshake. Why 19 seconds? Essentially because it was a photo op. All the photographers were taking pictures of them shaking hands. They knew they were all going to be on the front page of the paper the next day. But Donald Trump changed the handshake several times throughout, and you'll see the reaction of the Prime Minister of Japan at the end. So here we go. Trump starts with the servant's handshake, palm up. This is where we get our term, giving someone else the upper hand. After that, he transitions into the politician's handshake. The politician's handshake can be tapping of the palm. This can be touching the wrist, can be touching the elbow. And the politician's handshake bleeds insincerity unless you know the person really well. And most people at this level of politics likely don't enjoy being tapped like they're a house pet. And let's go on to the next segment here where he's going to start pulling his arm. This is called the controller. He's going to do, there it is. He's going to do it again. There's the pull. And here comes another pat. And look at this. The eye roll from the Prime Minister of Japan. The controller handshake, also called the tug, is when somebody is taking a role of dominance. And Trump was attempting to show dominance over the Prime Minister of Japan. What about Prime Minister Trudeau from Canada? He was ready for it. Trudeau had already seen how Trump handled the Prime Minister of Japan with all the arm wrestling. Trudeau was ready. Watch. He immediately grabs Donald by the arm so he can't put him in a submissive role. Here it is again in slow motion. But then you'll see that later on when they met in front of the press, Donald again gave the servant's handshake with the palm up, playing the submissive role and giving Trudeau the upper hand. Here's one of my favorites. It was the church service right around inauguration. Hey, nice to see you. Thanks for coming out. Ooh, look at that hat. Very nice. Appreciate you being here. Yeah? What you reading there? Okay. Hey, want to buy some steaks? We'll talk later. Hey, how are you? Okay. Did you know that in many parts of the world, when a couple people are going through the door, he who goes through first loses? That's just the way it is. Now, in the Western world and in the UK, when somebody's letting someone else through the door, they're just being gracious, they're being polite. But in the Middle East, especially among leaders, if a couple people are going through the door, he who goes through first is subservient to the dominant one, the one that stayed back, and let him go through. You're about to watch a video of 3 world leaders, one being President Bill Clinton, and 2 being the leaders of Palestine and Israel. When they go through the doors are going to open for them, and they're essentially going to push Bill Clinton through. He doesn't care. He's from the West, and they know the way he thinks. But the 2 from Palestine and Israel, watch them essentially duke it out to see who can go through last. Who can be the dominant one in the back? Okay, here we go. Let's push this guy through. Okay, now you go through first. No, you go. I'm not going through. You're going to go through first. No, you go. I'm telling you. Okay, I'll go. What are you going to do? Thanks for watching. See you next time.